Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you some aspects of automation in Ableton Live. Automation, in case you don't know, is when you take a parameter such as volume or panning or any parameter in any plugin and you make it move automatically over the course of your session. So here's a beat I made just a little while ago and we're going to listen to how it starts. Okay, and we'll listen to a little more of that later on, but for now I'm going to focus on this reverb print track. I'm going to solo it and then zoom in to this first clip. When I hover my mouse over the audio clip, you'll see these handles pop up, and these are your fade handles. So normally they are in a vertical position, and you can drag these controls to create fade ins and fade outs. You can use the middle diamond here to control the slope of the fade. Now, what if I want additional volume control in this clip? What if I want the volume to rise up in the middle and then go down, before it fades out? What if I want this clip over here to be louder than this clip? I can make all those things happen with automation. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the automation icon above the tracks. And when I click that, these red lines pop up everywhere, and these are your automation lines. So before you start to add automation, you need to know what it is you're changing, which parameter. So if you go to the track header, you'll see a couple of boxes, and in this case I'm looking at mixer in the top box. If I click on that, I can see all of the devices on my track listed here. So if I wanted to adjust a parameter on EQ8, I would select that, and then in the drop down menu below that I would select which of the many parameters I would want to automate. If I wanted to automate something on echo, I would do the same thing, and again there are many parameters to automate. But if I want to automate volume or panning, I am going to choose mixer, since this is the mixer section of Ableton Live. And the submenu for that includes speaker on, so you could mute and unmute the track. This is similar to mute automation in other programs. Panning, volume, crossfader assignments, and then your sends. And right now I only have 2 sends active. If I had more sends, more return tracks active, then there would be more options here. But I'm going to select track volume, and then I can get to work here. So one way I can create automation is by drawing in breakpoints manually with my mouse. I can click anywhere on that red line, and now you see the red line is solid, it's active, and there's a breakpoint there. And if I hover my mouse over the breakpoint, it tells me the exact volume level, negative 11.8 decibels. Then I could add another breakpoint, and I'm just doing this by clicking. I could add another breakpoint and another breakpoint. I could really add as many breakpoints as I want. Once I've added a breakpoint, I can drag it up or down, and now that volume will change over time. Just like that. And again, you can draw in as many breakpoints as you want. To delete a breakpoint, simply click on it a second time and it will go away. Now there's another way to draw in breakpoints, and that's with the pencil tool. So if I go up here and click the pencil tool, it's now enabled, and you can see I have a pencil here, and now I can draw breakpoints in. And you can see the volume changing over here. Now, one thing about the pencil tool is that it responds to the grid, and so your grid size matters. If I right click, you can see that right now I have the grid off, and that's why my pencil tool has this very smooth looking line. If I turn my grid on to say narrow, then it will look like stair steps. And if I zoom in more, I can have finer controls because the grid is an adaptive grid, and it changes size when you zoom in and zoom out. If I were working with a fixed grid of, say, eighth notes, then it would only allow me to draw in steps or breakpoints on each eighth note. So if you want the smoothest line, you can either turn the grid off and use your pencil tool, or if your grid is on and you're stuck with stair steps, but you need the grid to stay on, you can press the Command key to temporarily defeat that grid. Now I'm letting the Command key go, and I'm back to the grid again. So again, two ways to defeat the grid. You can either hold the Command key down as you draw, or you can right-click and choose Off. If I select the entire clip, including the title bar, and press Delete, the entire clip and the automation both go away. But if I select underneath that title bar and hit Delete, now just the automation goes away. So another way to add automation is to right-click in the middle of the clip and choose one of the shapes to insert from the bottom. And these are different preset automation curves. For instance, we could add a sine wave. And now you see it's applied that shape to the volume automation in this amount of time. If I selected a different amount of time, for instance right there, now it's in a shorter amount of time. There are also several boxes around here, and just like the fade handles, you can use these handles to modify that curve. So there are three ways to draw in automation. You can click breakpoints with your mouse, you can use the pencil tool, or you can right-click and insert a shape. All of those are good ways to add automation.